Our next performer is new to me, at least. I don't know if he's been here before, but Jeff Rembert will vouch for him. I think we should let him on the stage anyway. Please welcome Paulaidan Minerva and his guitar.
All right, Paul. Give us a minute, Paul. Thank you.
Hi for me. All right, there. That was good. All right. So I'm going to tell you guys a story that's accompanied by song. It's called Bert the Bird. Let's see. How's that sound? Can you guys hear that? Is that good sound? All right. Yeah, no, I'm going to move this mic over in this direction. No, I didn't tighten it enough. Sorry, guys. All right. I think I'm good. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I don't know if you guys can tell. All right, just a little nervous. You can hear that? That's good? Yep. Yeah. All right, now I just gotta talk like here. Right, all right. So, at 3 years old, Bert the Bird was a little bit old to be living in his mother's nest. One day she goes up to him and says, "Hey Bert, you know, ever since your dad died, boy birds haven't come around like they used to. And, you know, Mom really needs to get laid. So, I'm going to give you a month. I think it's time for you to fly. I need my own nest back." Well, Bert says, "Mom, I'm playing Xbox. Like, you're really messing up my KD on Call of Duty. You're not going to kick me out. You love me, right? You want me here. Hey, got good stuff, you know, you feed me worms, I'm comfortable. You've got a month," she says. This is a month passing. A month of Xbox and no flying practice. So after a month, his mom comes up to him and says, "Hey Bert, you ready to fly? Today's the day." He said, "Mom, come on, I got the headphone on, I'm with the guys." She says, "All right." She pushes him out of the nest. And he falls. And he falls. And he falls some more because it's a very tall tree. And he's plummeting towards the ground, his life is flashing before his eyes, and he begins to flap his wings frantically as fast as he can. And just before he hits the ground, Bert the Bird flies straight up toward the sky. And then into a glass door, and then Bert the Bird dies.
Oh, man.
Thank you. So I have one more story that's a little bit, I think it's less funny. I originally wrote it just like for the sake of a pun, but it's not musical. But I figured, you know, I've been itching to write. I actually revisited it and rewrote it later on for a writing class. So this is, you know, the second iteration. It's called Beth and Ray. I don't know if it's funny enough for tonight, but I'm gonna go for it anyway.
Go.
All right. Beth and Ray had been married for 30 years this Monday. This Monday, Beth cried, remembering Ray, who had died 3 months ago, choking on a bagel bite in the subway. Ray was late for work. He had been a civil engineer. During his career, his hands had been somewhere in the development of many major buildings in the area. Having worked on the lights of the World Trade Center at its inception and helped the renovation of the Empire State Building after the awful fire on the 32nd floor, Ray was tired, but had passed up retirement again and again, despite Beth's insistence. Going it over and over again in her head, the fateful day that deprived her of Ray, she plucked at the memory fondly. How he smiled when she woke him gently, how fast the smile fled when he saw what time it was. "Good God, Beth, I'm so late! I'm pitching the project I've been developing for the past 6 months to the board today, and I'm supposed to be there in 30 minutes. he whined as he stumbled to the bathroom, pulling his pants up with one hand and buttoning his shirt with the other. While he frantically prepared, Beth sauntered out to the kitchen to put some bagel bites in the toaster oven. They were Ray's favorite breakfast food. Minutes later, Ray zoomed through the kitchen, kissed Beth on the forehead, bolted out the door, bagel bites in one hand, his trusty briefcase in the other. Who would have known the train would be so crowded he'd have to stand? What are the chances that fat dude would bump into him as he finished his last bagel bite? Startling Ray enough to accidentally breathe in the remains of his last bagel bite? Are people in this city really so self-centered they don't even notice as a man chokes to death in front of them on the train? Misty-eyed, she wished she could hold him just one more time. She wished she had grabbed him and planted a big fat kiss on him that morning, no matter how late he already was. Beth lit a cigarette. Breathing in a lung of smoke, she walked out to her apartment patio and stared down at the city, the wretched city bereft of any guiding light that took her dear, sweet baby Ray away. It was an exceptionally dismal day. The clouds blocked the sun, creating a sort of surreal sepia-tone world. Gray skies reflected from gray buildings on the gray streets below. The air was thick and cold, humid but charged. It wasn't the weather, though, that dampened the mood. It was Beth's empty apartment, silently wailing laments that only Beth could hear, crying tears that only Beth could see. Steam rose up from the manholes, and faceless masses migrated from city block to city block.
They run around this city like hamsters on an exercise wheel, said Beth. They'd sooner trample someone who falls down than they would risk ruining a perfectly good manicure to help them up. Damn bagel bites, damn subways, and damn this city.
Beth decided to make a change. Beth decided. 6:15 to Brookville, departing momentarily. Last call for the 6:15 to Brookville. Beth put her cigarette out and boarded the train. Shuffling through the people, she finally found a seat between a couple of young professional types. Well-dressed, mid-20s, hair slicked back, briefcase. You know, the type. 10 seconds to go now. Beth's breath's becoming more and more shallow, giving the outward impression of a heart attack. 5 seconds now. Beth grabs her heart. 1 second. She closes her eyes. Boom. Beth explodes. The warmth of the explosion embraces her entire body, ripping skin from muscle and muscle from bone. As the whole subway train goes up in flames, Beth's last thought echoes through nothing to nobody into oblivion. Damn it, Ray.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Sorry it wasn't that funny. It was kind of weird.
They live.